I carefully scraped off the birth date on the check and changed it to my own. Then I pasted on my name, took out a model airplane I'd soaked in water beforehand, peeled off the airline logo, and stuck it on the check. Finally, I pressed it flat in a book. Just like that, I'd forged a crude but functional airline paycheck. I took it to the bank to cash it. For most people, successfully cashing this check would be quite difficult, but for me, it was as easy as breathing. Because not only did I have a handsome face, I knew exactly what kind of person was easiest to fool. After some careful observation, I zeroed in on a pretty female teller who looked like she'd be a total sucker for charm.
Welcome to Miami Mutual Bank. How may I help you?
My name is Frank Taylor. I'm a co-pilot for Pan Am. I'd like to cash this check here, and then I'd like to take you out for a steak dinner. Just like that, I successfully cashed the check. After that first success, there was no stopping. I started buying model planes in bulk, mass-producing fake checks, then heading to the airport to cash them. I specifically targeted attractive rookie employees. Before long, I'd infiltrated the bank's inner circle and learned from these women that banks had machines to verify check authenticity. So I bid on and won a decommissioned verification machine at a high price, brought it home, and studied it carefully. Then I created fake checks that even the machine couldn't detect. Posing as a pilot, I started flying for free and illegally cashing checks all across the country. As the amounts grew larger, the FBI finally caught wind of what I was doing. Agent Carl tracked me down to my hotel using the address on a fake check. He burst into the room with his gun drawn. Seeing the tools of my trade on the table, Carl knew he had me this time. Just then, the sound of a toilet flushing came from the bathroom. I calmly walked out, not the least bit rattled. I smoothly pretended to be with the intelligence agency, claiming I was also after this same criminal.
Relax! You're late, all right? My name's Alan, Barry Allen, United States Secret Service. Your boy just tried to jump out the window. My partner has him in custody.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Carl didn't buy it at first, but seeing how composed I was and watching me hand over my entire wallet for inspection, he started to have doubts. Just as Carl was about to open the wallet, I stopped him and pulled him over to look out the window.
Look out the window. My partner's walking into the car as we speak. Look. Old guy almost pissed in his pants when I came through the door. He jumped right through the window onto the hood of my car. Hey, Murph. Yeah, call the LAPD again. I don't want people walking through my crime scene.
I didn't expect the Secret Service on this.
Don't worry about it. Well, what's your name?
Hanratty. Carl Hanratty.
Just like that, Carl believed me. To demonstrate my professionalism, I turned the tables and asked to see Carl's credentials. He handed them over.
Well, tough luck, Carl. 5 minutes earlier, you would have landed yourself a pretty good collar.
It's all right.
While talking, I gathered up the printer and checks and asked Carl to watch the scene for me. Then I just walked out of the room. I didn't even take my wallet. At this point, Carl thought to himself that after all this time chasing me, he'd finally caught this master con man. He finally relaxed, sat down on the bed, and even started laughing. But as he laughed, he felt something wasn't quite right. So he opened the wallet to check. What he saw left him stunned. Inside were nothing but ads for various products, salads, desserts, and the like. He realized he'd been played, but it was too late. I was long gone. And that's how the first round of cat and mouse ended, with my complete victory. After this incident, I got cocky. I dressed myself up like James Bond, drove around in a fancy car, and picked up down on their luck models at hotels. On Christmas Eve, I called Carl to taunt him, claiming I was in room 3113 at a hotel and daring him to come catch me. Carl had been fooled once already, so naturally he didn't believe me, but he seemed to see right through my psychology.
You didn't call just to apologize, did you?
What do you mean?
You have no one else to call.
Oh.
Carl had hit a nerve. Because after I'd gotten money, I'd gone back home once. I thought my parents' divorce was just about money. Because after I'd gotten back together, wanting to return to that perfect life and find the warmth of home again. But reality had changed beyond recognition. Mom had remarried, and Dad had become someone barred from spending due to unpaid debts. In the end, I discovered that money still couldn't solve my problems. Christmas, which should have been a family reunion, I had to spend alone. Combined with Carl's taunts, I stormed out in anger. And the room number happened to be 3113. Obviously, I'd calculated that the agent wouldn't come. On Carl's end, he started investigating the name Barry Allen, and after much searching learned it was the Flash's name. Carl suddenly realized that the con artist he was chasing was likely just a kid who loved comic books. Following this lead, he investigated all the runaway teenagers in New York and eventually narrowed it down to me. But Carl never could have imagined that this genius scammer was only 17 years old. The agent told my mother I was suspected of forging checks. My protective mother immediately decided to pay back all the money for me, but she underestimated my capabilities.
Just tell me how much yours and I'll pay you back.
So far, it's about $1.3 million.
I I realized my whereabouts had likely been exposed. So by forging a Harvard degree, I successfully landed a job as an attending physician and hooked up with a nurse. When I learned my girlfriend's father was a well-known local attorney, I proposed marriage and successfully married into the family. By imitating lawyers in movies and leveraging my incredible memory, I passed the bar exam in just 2 weeks and became a lawyer. Christmas Eve came around again, and as usual, I called Carl. This time I hoped he'd let me go since I was about to get married, but Carl used this as a breakthrough and quickly tracked down my location. On my wedding day, Carl showed up uninvited. To avoid tipping me off, Carl first found my girlfriend's father to ask questions, planning to find out where I was before making the arrest. But I spotted him anyway. I quickly pulled my girlfriend into a room and frantically, incoherently told her everything. As I talked, I pulled out a suitcase full of money. And before my girlfriend could even figure out what was going on, I pulled out another suitcase. I knew I couldn't take my girlfriend with me and didn't have time to explain, so I grabbed the money and left alone through the window. But before leaving, I made plans with my girlfriend to meet at the airport in 2 days and run away together. Soon, 2 days had passed. I arrived at the airport. After some time, my girlfriend showed up as promised. But just as I was about to go meet her, I noticed she seemed nervous, and strangers were approaching her. What was going on? Had my girlfriend sold me out? I quickly got back in my car and started carefully observing my surroundings. Sure enough, I spotted numerous disguised police officers. If I showed my face, I'd be arrested. Leaving seemed impossible. Impossible for others, maybe, but not for me. Once again posing as a pilot, I went to an all-girls school and said I was recruiting 8 flight attendants for the company. In that era, being a flight attendant was just as coveted as being a pilot. So when they heard the news, everyone got excited and eagerly participated in interviews. After some selection, I successfully chose 8 female students to play flight attendants. They all had angelic faces and perfect figures. Since I couldn't keep a low profile, I'd go completely high profile. I brought these 8 girls and walked brazenly into the airport, and the facts proved this tactic worked. When these 8 youthful, beautiful, sexy girls walked into the airport, everyone's eyes, including the police officers, were instantly drawn to them. No one noticed, or rather no one thought, that the pilot walking behind them was their target, me, Frank. As for Agent Carl, I used a classic diversionary tactic to draw him away.
Step out of the car!
Don't shoot me. I'm just a driver. A man paid me $100 to wear this uniform, picks one up at the airport.
Who are you picking up?
As I finished speaking, the driver pulled out a sign from the car with Carl's name written on it. He'd been played again. And by that time, I'd already successfully boarded the plane and taken off.